Hi everyone, welcome back to Eve Civilization Reset, episode 9. In the last episode, well, if you haven't watched last episode, I recommend you watch it because I'm going to give up some spoilers. We saw the Yellow Team Civil War in which the new country formed here because they had a different branch of religion. Religion's a thing now. And the Pink Country fall, well, not fall entirely, but they got significantly reduced in land. But now we're going to see another turn of events happen in this episode. So brace yourselves as we're going to get into episode 9, the ending of the A. So first we're going to start off in the brown team, also known as Chaville. They recently acquired this land from the pink team. They just occupy it. They don't actually own it. It's just occupied temporarily. But within the country, there's some instability. And instability, I mean some break off states. So we see some bits of the land form. Well, we see a revolt happening. So this red rebellion pops up in this area. We're gonna need cities for this. And they're going to expand around this, and yeah, they're trying to take the land they claim, which is all of this one. So they start trying to advance, and then the brown team tries to get into this and stabilize the region. Well, if I can get the right color, that is. So the brown team starts pushing them back, but then it's too late. Well, it's not too late, but the other factions start to pop up. So we see a break off happening right here, and one over in this area, which I'm gonna have to change. But it isn't far until Chavillan troops arrive and they start pushing back against the rebels. They push back the yellow faction a bit, as well as the purple one. They make some encirclements, almost capture the city, and yeah, they push back pretty far. And they also make some gains in the Red Rebellion. But then a little someone is going to join onto this war. I know you can guess. And the country's Chiville. Even with the stubborn king is going to actually declare war on the Dutch and then start attacking them. So they try to make some gains into the occupied land, which they do some, but it isn't long until some brown team troops arrive here. And yeah, it's kind of standoff as. Because with this, we see the brown team actually wanting to compromise with these nations and decide to pull them into a peace treaty where they will sort out these borders. Let's get into it. So in this peace treaty, maybe hosted in one of these cities. These are unnamed. Like, okay. So basically, all the rebellions will be granted their independence and sovereignty. The pink team will take one province of that occupation zone off, leaving just two of them left. I'll take that. Okay, so this red country will have their capital there. This yellow, kind of dark yellow, pea colored, dark yellow country will have its capital there. I gave this its province. I divided the province map up a bit. Yeah, they tried to get this province, but they could not. This stays under Chevelle control. And yeah, that's it for the treaty. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna make sure you can see on and off with the map, and yeah, well, the province layer, and yeah. But then we see something happen. So this country rebelled because they actually were more ethnically close to this country. So they're going to decide to unite our wrong layer. They're going to decide to unite with the pink country. No, it's called the Lilac Nation, but it's also Kiptoria. So these guys unite, and Kiptoria now extends down there. They're also going to take this island for good measure. And that will be it here. Let's go somewhere else. Up north in Simvada, we see something happening. So this green country, the king of this country decides, we've been close with these three countries in the Economic Circle Alliance. So you know what? I'm going to allow foreign trade to pass through the country, and we'll join this economic alliance because it will be good for us. Yeah, it will be good for us. So they just do just that, and they join the Circle Economic Alliance. Now going into the continent Majoke, these countries, they're going to expand again up in more into the continent because I told them so, and they were being heavily populated. I can make these countries do what I want because I am the higher dimensional being in this world. Wow, Jack, that's suddenly something. Well, they just expand up north a bit because their population was getting heavy. So bad news, I lost the footage to the map, so I had to recreate it to the best of my ability. I think this should be okay for now. So the next event that we will see happening is actually going to happen in Muba. So basically internally we have some bad stuff happening. People don't like the government, and because of that, you're gonna have a break off state happening. So we're gonna have this maroon country start to form. Population centers start to follow up and join up with the rebellion. They try to unite. Must have to recolor it. So what we see happening is these guys trying to take as much land as possible. Why? Well, it's like a power, I guess. Well, I don't really know. They managed to take the cities. A bunch of the population just decides to follow. Also planning to take this province. That's why I had it drawn out. And yeah, that's it. And now I must have to redraw these. So what we see happening is those lands are now into its new country, the Marin country. Its capital is here. It's the city called Libab. And now the red team is going to do something else. See these two islands? Well, they're going to. Okay. Wrong layer. They're going to fall under red team control because why can't they annex it? Same story for the yellow team because as they follow by taking these two islands. So here we see something bad happening to Chaigu Bad. Well, you see people in this section of the country. They were very attached to the pink team, and they are tired of being ruled over by them. They don't like them. So they're going to just casually break off. And, well, Chuggy Bud can't really do that much about it. So this country will be known as Chibsy because it has the Port Chibsy area, like around here. And yeah, so basically, they were a major port of the pink team, and that's why the pink team refused to let go of that for a long time. And yeah, alright. I guess we're gonna have to move on to the next event. So that's their capital, and now we're gonna move into Simvada. See the green team. People are starting to explore the northern areas of Simvada, and then some even want to start their own country. So let's say some powerful people or commoners in the country, maybe like a very significant, well known family, they start some colony, they start their own countries in the place. So, and that's it. We get this thing forming, and they're gonna make a smart move and just connect up with the that green team, the northern green team, and they're starting to expand. But we see more than one pop up. See one happen up more further up here, and then we will have the most northern or of the most northern one. We'll do some purple color like this. And there's probably a bunch of other minuscule ones, but yeah, we'll have the blues, maybe a blue one. And maybe they're gonna try to link up with each other because they can trade, and that's trading's good. The blue civilization meets up with the yellow one, but the yellow one is still pretty far from the red. Since the red is probably the biggest one out of the newly formed countries, they'll have no problem expanding up, and yeah, they can make contact. Now all these countries are linked up. Okay. There we go. But we'll also see a minor thing happen. Not minor thing, but since these guys are preparing for colonialism, they'll just immediately take these islands right next to them, the green country. Okay, maybe not that one or that one, but you know what I mean. The last event of this video will be taking place in Gorvena. So you see, the Mint country, it's been kinda on the downfall. They're kinda suck politically, not functioning well as a state, so they're going to collapse. Because of that, the the brown country, it's going to take as much land as possible. And yeah, that's pretty rude. But hey, it's free land, and these guys aren't sympathetic, anyways. Maybe they even try to this. Then we have an exclave within an exclave situation. Then the rest of the land will get divided, and maybe some will go over to those countries. And I'll show you how this thing turns out. Ugh, well, that's a mess. So we see that country, the no borders changed. The sand country has taken bits of land. This bluish country takes bits too. And this non sympathetic brown country takes a majority of it. Heck, they even get this exclave, with that red country's having an exclave there. Okay. This country's kind of the remnants because, well, you see, oh no, the other country. So we got a bunch of exclaves, borders are getting worse. This country has the former country's capital. Okay, that green team has the mint team's capital. And that's it for today's episode. And I'll see you again in I don't know when. Jackflix is going to zoom out. Yeah, zoom out.